Hello everyone! In this video I will show you how to create a simple Dino Run game for Android system. If you have Chrome browser and get your internet connection lost, then you know this kind of game, I'm sure. As usual, scripts and art assets will be available by the links in the description. Let's do it from the scratch. First select main camera and set its background color as white. Then create a new scene that I have already created. You can create it here. Then go to File, Build Settings, and drag and drop this scene into Build window. Also make sure that platform is switched to Android One. Then go to Assets menu section, Import Package, and select CrossPlatforInput item. Once it's ready, hit Import button. In a few seconds we have this package imported. We need this package to control Dino's movement with UI buttons. Now let's add game objects to the scene. First I add a ground to walk on, and position it at the bottom of the screen. Set order in layer to 1 and add a box collider to D component. Make the right side of the collider a bit bigger, so instantiated obstacles will not fall off the screen. Next I add a cloud and position it at the following coordinates. Order in layer will be set as 0. To move a cloud, we use move left cycle script. Here it is. This script repeatedly moves a game object from right waypoint towards left waypoint according to move speed value in x-axis. Add this script to cloud game object. Select cloud and modify script's values a bit. Move speed will be -1. Left waypoint will be -13, right waypoint will be +13. Then duplicate this cloud 3 times and rename them. And position these clones like so. Okay, clouds are ready. Let's add some mountains. Add one to the scene, position it where you want it to be. Set its order in layer to 2, so it's rendered in front of the clouds. Add move left cycle script to it, set move speed to -3 and set waypoints x coordinates. Add another one mountain, position it, and add move script with the same values set. Okay, background is ready. Now it's time to create a Dino character. Add Dino body sprite, rename this game object as Dino with first letter capitalized. Position it at the left side of the screen. Set order in layer as 5. Next, select Dino body sprite and go to Sprite Editor window. Here we have to locate sprite's pivot point at the bottom of the Dino's body, so this sprite will be rotated around this point. Next, I add a box collider 2D to Dino. Set this collider as trigger and edit it like so. This collider will detect collisions with obstacles. Here we go. Next component is Circle Collider 2D that will help our Dino to walk on the ground. Edit it this way, so it appears at the bottom of the Dino. Here it is. Next component is rigid body 2D. Set gravity scale to 2, collision detection set to continuous, and set Z rotation as freezed. To control Dino's movement, we use Dino control script. This script uses Unity standard assets CrossPlatformInput library. Here is animator, which will be added at the moment, rigid body component, jump force variable that we can set in inspector, and up or down variable that represents up or down button pressed. In start method we get those components. And in update method we read if up or down button is pressed. If up button is pressed, then Dino jumps. If down button is pressed, then Dino ducks, because animation is switched to another state. Animations will be added at the moment too. OK, add this script to Dino. Select Dino and set jump force to 700, so Dino will jump a bit higher. Now let's add some legs to our Dino. It will be left leg and right leg. Set order in layer for left leg to 4. Set order in layer to right leg to 6. Before position legs correctly, we need to relocate their pivot points. Select left leg sprite and position its pivot point somewhere at the top of the leg, right here. Hit apply to save the changes. Do the same for right leg and don't forget to save the changes. Select both of the legs game objects and make them to be children of Dino. Now we can position them correctly, like that. OK, now let's animate our Dino. Select Dino game object, go to animation window and click create new animation button. I name it Dino Run Up Animation. OK. Then click record button. Select left leg, make sure the timeline marker is at the first frame, and rotate left leg in Z-axis by -15 degrees. Position timeline marker at 15 frame, and rotate left leg by +15 degrees. Marker at 30, rotation by -15. Marker at 45, rotation by 15. Marker at 60, rotation by -15. Select right leg, set timeline marker back to 0. Set Z rotation to +15. Marker at 15, rotation by -15, and so on. Hit record button to stop recording. As a result, we have this simple running animation. OK. Next, create new animation clip. I name it as Dino Run Down Animation. Select Dino, hit record button, rotate Dino's body by -45 degrees in Z-axis for the first frame. Select left leg and change its position a bit for the first frame. Like so. Next, rotate it in Z-axis by 60 degrees. Timeline marker to 15, rotate by 30, and so on. OK, select right leg, go to first frame, rotate by 30 degrees and so on. OK, here it is our running down animation. Now we need an ability to switch between these two animations. Select Dino and go to Animator window. Here are our animations. First, we need to add a parameter. Hit plus and add 1. We need it as boolean 1. Name it as isDown. Then, right-click on Run Up animation and make a transition to down animation. Then click this transition arrow. Uncheck has exit time and set transition duration to 0. Then add new condition, so this transition takes place if isDown is true. Right-click on Run Down animation and make a transition back to up animation. Click this transition, uncheck has exit time, set duration to 0, add new condition and set isDown to false. So now we can switch between these animations through the script. Through Dino control script in our case, where we change isDown value if down button is pressed. Okay, now we need some game control game object that will control UI elements and obstacles instantiation process. Create new empty game object, name it as game control. Reset its position. Game control will have game control script. Here it is. First, it uses UI and scene management libraries. Then we have an instance variable of game control class to have access to these game objects from other scripts. Then restart button, high score text, your score text variables go, array of obstacles, spawn point transform, variables to manage spawn rate of obstacles, variables to manage game speed incrementing, score variables, variables to check if game is stopped, and variable to control score incrementing. In start method, we assign instance of game control class, so it becomes what is called a singleton. Then we disable restart button at the start, set current score to 0, set game stopped value to false, set time scale to 1, read high score value from player prefs if it exists, set next spawn variable, and set next boost variable according to unscaled time value, so it is independent on time scale. Then, if game is running, then increase your score method is invoked. Then high score and your score is displayed. Then, if it's time to spawn next obstacle, then spawn obstacle method is invoked. And if it's time to increase game speed and game is not stopped, then boost time method is invoked. Then here is Dino hit method that is invoked by any obstacle script, we'll take a look at it a bit later, if Dino collides with any obstacle. So, if current score earned is greater than high score, then we rewrite high score value in player prefs with your score value. Then time scale is set to 0, so the game stops. Game stopped variable is set to true and the start button is enabled. In spawn obstacle method, we set next spawn time first. Then we calculate random value from 0 to obstacles array length. And after that we instantiate random prefab at spawn point's position. In boost time method, we set next boost time point and then increase time scale by 0.25. So game starts to run a bit faster. In increase your score method, we check if increased time passed is greater than next score increase value, then your score value is increased by 1, and next score increase time point is set to 1 second after this moment. If restart method is invoked, then scene is reloaded. This method is invoked when restart button is pressed. That's it. Add the script to game control game object. Select game control and see that there is some empty slots in this script component. We will fill them with game objects a bit later. Now, let's create a spawn point. Create empty game object, name it spawn point. Reset it and position it at the right side of the scene. Somewhere about here. Obstacles will be spawned over here. We need some UI elements. Create new UI canvas and set its scale mode to scale with screen size. Right-click on canvas and create new UI text. This is going to be high score text. Anchor it at the top left holding Alt plus Shift keys. Modify its position and size a bit. Set text field. I set its font as my favorite Chunk 5. Make font a bit bigger. Set vertical alignment to center and set horizontal overflow to overflow, so text will not disappear if it doesn't fit the container. Here we go. Duplicate high score game object and rename it as your score. Change its position and change its text field value. Here we go. Then right-click on canvas and create new UI button. This is going to be restart button. Drag and drop restart button sprite to its source image slot. Anchor it at the center Set its width and height. Remove button text from its text component. Next we need to add new onClick function to this button. Go to onClick section, hit plus, select game control from objects list, and select restart game method from its game control script. Right-click on canvas again and create another button. It's going to be up button. Drag and drop just button sprite to its source image slot. Anchor it at the bottom left, set its position like so. Modify its width. Set its text field as up and modify its font settings. Here we go. Duplicate this button, rename it as down button. Modify its text correspondingly and change its position like so. Okay, these two buttons need a script to be able to control our Dino. Go to Standard Assets folder, then to CrossPlatformInput folder, and then to Scripts folder. Here we need this Axis Touch button script. Drag and drop this script into Up button and into Down button. Select Up button and go to Axis Touch button script attached. Here we need to change axis name to vertical. Axis value will be +1 as it's Up button. Response and return to center speed values should be changed to greater ones like 1000, so buttons behave more accurate. Do the same for down button, except that axis value should be set to -1 because it's down button. Okay, finally we need to create our obstacles. First will be a bird, okay, whatever it is. Flip it in x-axis as it goes to the left, and set its ordering layer to 15. Also, I add a circle collider 2D and modify it a bit. I forgot to check its is-trigger option here, but I'll do it a bit later. Bird going to have obstacle control script. Add it to it. Its move speed set to -5, so it goes from the right side of the screen to the left side. Create a prefab of a bird by dragging and dropping it into project folder. We can delete it from hierarchy now. Next obstacle will be cactus. Here it is. Set its ordering layer to 15, add box collider 2D, check its trigger option, and modify its size and offset a bit. Like that. This collider will check collisions with Dino. Add another one box collider 2D. Modify its size and offset so it appears at the bottom of the cactus. This collider will be used as a base of cactus to stand on the ground. Add a rigid body to the component. Set gravity scale to 0. Collision detection to continuous. Freeze its Z rotation. And add obstacle control script to cactus. Here is this script. This script moves game object from right side of the screen to the left side. If game object's position in x-axis is lower than -13, then it's destroyed. In onTrigger enter 2D method, we check if obstacle collides with game objects named Dino. So if it collides with Dino, then Dino hit method is invoked in game control instance. Here it is. And move speed of cactus is -5 also. Now let's select game control game object and fill its slots with game objects. Restart button goes to restart button slot, high score to high score, yaw score to yaw score. As we have only 2 obstacles, so size of array should be set to 2. Here we have 2 slots for our obstacles prefabs. Bird prefab goes here, cactus, where is cactus? Oh, I forgot to make a prefab of it. Here we go. Delete it from hierarchy, select game control, cactus prefab goes here. Okay. Spawn point goes here. Spawn rate and time to boost will stay as they are. Okay, as I said, I forgot to check its trigger option in Bird Circle Collider. I do it now. Okay, now everything is ready. Let's see how it works on my Android device. Dino is running trying to avoid an obstacle spawned in random order, and every 5 seconds, game speed is increased by 0.25 value. Seems to work fine. Hope you like this tutorial, thank you for watching, see you next time.